Hey everybody, it's Rob here. In just a few hours, we are getting a patch here which buffs all the classes in Season 8. And there might also be a crazy strategy here to get an enormous amount of Mythics and Resplendent Sparks. So you do not want to spend your Spectral Ash, you want to save it. Let's get into it here for a second. So we have confirmation. The patch was maybe coming today, but now it's actually coming here on Wednesday, depending on you watching this video. It's usually 7 p.m. For German time. Like this is like a CET. So in just a few hours from now, basically, we're going to be playing this patch, which buffs all the classes. The class that gets the craziest buffs is the Spiritborn. They're buffing the Protector here, which is the Gorilla key passive. They're buffing all the key passives here for every Spiritborn build. And right now, the Spiritborn looks to be the weakest on the leaderboards, but with some bug fixes here, and some of the buffs to all the key passives, basically, and the buffs to the unyielding hits, which will finally work with the boss powers for Varshan and also for Ashava. The Spiritborn has potential to become the second strongest class. Only the Sorcerer, which already did pit 120 here by Mekuna, will probably be able to beat it. This is thanks to the unyielding hits aspect here. That's not working. This is giving triple damage to a lot of the Spiritborn builds. I talked a lot about these bugs here that happen on the Spiritborn, and they are finally looking into addressing the unyielding hits and make them work with the S tier builds here for Ashava and also for the Varshan power. So that's going to be pretty good. Spiritborn is looking pretty juicy. And then all the other classes here, including the Barbarian, we are right now on the Barb here farming the Gore's Devastating Grasp. Spin to win is getting a double damage multiplier on the Gore's, now scaling damage base per second. So I'm right here right now playing the Petquake Barb, and we are looking to farm these new gloves here, the Gore's. This is the best one I found so far. So you want a high secondary, 600% X. You want whirlwind ranks, and ideally you want attack speed. So I don't quite have attack speed on this one yet. So we're still looking to get some. And I also did a few tweaks to this build, and we are now playing the Twister Glyph. And just watch how insane this build is for killing a T4 boss already. And yeah, it's looking to get even crazier. You see, boom, Belial insta-dead, basically. And yeah, they're buffing these Gores, and we'll see how much it's going to be. So this is coming from the Varshan. I'm farming a few, probably also going to do a giveaway here. But we basically look at the boss, and we kill him. So this is a good way to prepare for the patch if you're playing Barb. And you're also getting a ton of Spectral Ash here. If you're beating Belial, boom, he dead. And you're getting a ton of Spectral Ash. And what it's looking to happen with those Spectral Ash is that you can get reputation. And this is going to be a great way, potentially, to get a ton of Mythic Uniques and Sparks. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Let's check on the other classes here. But that's a good way, and that's what I'm doing to prepare for the patch. Again, coming in a few hours, as confirmed here by Adam Fletcher on X. It's not on Tuesday, it's on Wednesday. And it's coming out with all these changes here. So there's also double swing buffs. There's another aspect here, and this is confirmed to be multiplier. This is the aspect of Dire Whirlwind. This is the one that gives you up to double crit chance, Dire Whirlwind. And now it's also, on top of giving crit chance to your Whirlwind, it's also giving multiplicative crit damage. If you put this on a two-hander, you're getting double damage again. So that's already like a 4x for the main spin to win build. We'll see if it's going to beat Petquake. I don't think so. But maybe there's going to be some pretty interesting interactions here with the Gore's Devastating Grasps. So definitely looking forward to it. This used to be my favorite build when Diablo 4 launched 2 years ago in 2023. And this was the spin to win, and you like basically make a big explosion, and it's just like a great build, and hopefully it's going to be good. Then the Druids, yes, even the Druids, right now one of the weakest classes, and only really with one build, which is Cataclysm, dominating, or if you can call it that, but they're getting buffs too. Earth Might, Perfect Storm, Humanity. It's not really like crazy buffs for the Druid, but at least they have something to chew on. Then we're getting upgrades here to the unique item, a bit better here with the uptime for Druids. That I don't really think it's going to really change the Druid being like stuck with one build. And I think this is like pretty much the only build that's even doing good. So there are not that many clears here. I think there's only, like you see, only 20 people, 25 people that even beat Pit 100 on a Druid. And I mean, you're comparing this to a Sorcerer, you know? Yeah, it keeps going, you know? Like, there's many, many people. So yeah, the Druid, we'll see. It's good that they buff it. Hopefully there's going to be more stuff. Necromancer, Book of the Dead, big buffs. Right now, the minion Barb is better than the minion Necromancer. So I would love to see some more minion Necro builds, but they're definitely juicing up the Blade of Zur. This is the new item. It's actually getting a ×5. So that's looking probably pretty good. But then again, you know, these engines that we have here on the Barb, so we're just using the Pet Quake, and they're also making Whirlwinds. And this is basically stronger than like 5 summoning Necromancers combined. So we just look at the guy, and this also did like 115 or something. Like boom, like he died instantly. Even if he'd had like 10x DHP, he'd probably still melt. So it's cool to see some stuff coming for the summoning Necromancer. I still need those gloves. And here we get more Spectral Ash. More on that in a second. And then we also get the Rogue. So they are not buffing, but they are also not nerfing anything. So no nerfs to any of the crazy stuff that's going on some of the classes. Immortal Rogue still possible. No nerfs to Death Trap. No nerfs to anything in this patch, which is great. No one is even close to 150. So it would just be cool instead of nerfing the Sork, you know, just like buff some of the other classes. Like, that's really cool to see, and that's exactly what they're doing. Only buffs here throughout the board. Even Sorcerer. There might be some crazy stuff here with Shock and Impact now triggering on every stun. This might have some crazy DPS potential. This is basically a passive that allows the Sork to deal a % weapon damage every time you stun. But at the moment, you have to actually stun the enemy. But they're getting immune very fast. But now it seems like you don't have to stun them, actually. It's just like if you would stun them, even though the target is immune, you would still get the benefit. That's how I'm understanding this. And there might be some crazy stuff here going on. And then we're getting big Ice Shards buff. And then the biggest one here, and this is what I was talking about for the uniques. So a lot of you have probably farmed up a lot of Spectral Ash. So I'm looking here at 1 million Spectral Ash. And obviously, right now, there's nothing in the game to do with that because you can only upgrade your boss powers. But what they are doing now, and we don't know exactly how it's working or what the ratio is, but they're adding a vendor that sells Oath Scrolls. So what we're going to do, and what the strategy might be, so this is why I think you should keep your Spectral Ash. So you can make a new character, right? So I was making a Necromancer. This is the only class I haven't played. So I have every other class on like max level. So we are made a Necromancer, and then you take 2 or 3 minutes to do the first part of the season quest, right? And then you head to this city where you get the reputation board. So you head to the city here, and then you see here the Unwheeler's Oath. So you can go here, and you see it's a brand new character. Literally, like we have like 5 minutes played or so. Okay, 6 minutes played. But I was like slacking and showing some stuff. But you basically make a new character. You play for 5 minutes until you, at this point, you get the reputation stuff. And then you purchase the reputation on a new character to get the resplendent cash over and over and over again. We are not sure if this works yet. I just think right now there's no harm in saving the Spectral Ash. So when the patch comes, we will test this, and maybe it works, and it's going to be a very reliable, very safe way. You make a new character, you unlock the first part of the season quest, and then I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I doubt it's going to cost more than 100,000 to max out the board, because else people like will be mad like that didn't get anything. So we farmed so much Spectral Ash, and probably it's going to cost like 50k or something. I will be my guess. So we can max out 50k, boom, we get a cash. Make a new character, do the first quest, max out, boom, get a cash, and so on. And it also contains a ton of crafting materials. It contains masterwork materials. It contains like salvage materials. It contains forgotten souls. Basically, you're getting all the stuff here, right? Like you're getting like most of it. Like these caches here, like they have stuff. They like the higher you go, the more you get. So that's what we're going to be testing when the patch comes out. So I just think in the very beginning, like wait before you get this reputation stuff, and look if you can do this with your Spectral Ash. Like maybe there's some cap to it. We don't know. But that's basically the first thing we're going to try, and get a lot of Resplendent Sparks, and then you can just obviously use this. I already made like 6 characters, so that's already 6 Resplendent Sparks, and it's very fast to farm this up with the Oath Scrolls. I mean, it's pretty much instantly, I think. But yeah, we'll see. So vendor that sells Oath Scrolls. it's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. And yeah, there's also a ton more bug fixes here for the boss powers. Like some of the boss powers weren't working properly, so there's a ton of that coming as well. Just good changes overall, and it's just nice to see, you know, them not nerfing anything. They have only fixed like the fully unintended, like, you know, infinite damage builds, but some of the strong, crazy stuff, you know, that you can see on Sorcerer or even on the Barb, where like all the pet multipliers like work with your Earthquakes and your Twisters and stuff. That stuff like is in the game, and it looks to stay in the game, I guess. And it's nice to see them just buffing like the weaker characters. I think Druid needs a bit more. I think Rogue overall is fine. Maybe some buffs to like some of the weaker builds, but Death Trap Rogue is amazing, guys. Necromancer is doing pretty good. Barb is doing somewhat okay. Yeah, Spiritborn gets the help, I think, and then Druid only has Cataclysm. I think if we're looking at the Druid clears, I don't know where we can find the first clear here that doesn't have Cataclysm. And again, it might not exist. You know, like all this is Cataclysm. I don't even think there is another. Oh, here. So there's a Druid that did 95 without Cataclysm on the bar. You know, so yeah. And the pit scaling is crazy. So the only problem I feel is the snapshots. Like the Druid is also obviously benefiting a lot from the snapshots. I think they just need to like fix the snapshots and then buff the Druid accordingly. And if they fix the overpower snapshot, also like the playstyle of the Sorks, I have a video on it. Like you need to basically fish for a 3% chance to snapshot, and it's just stupid. I talked with Mikuna a lot, like he also absolutely doesn't like it. Like, who thinks it's fun to, like, you know, rely on a 3% chance to snapshot? I still think they should hotfix the snapshots and just buff. Like, Sorcerer is fine, even without snapshots, it's doing 115, stronger than everything else anyways. So I think they should fix the snapshots and then buff the Druid accordingly. That would be my, like, you know, wish, but we'll see. Overall, good changes, guys. I'm definitely looking a lot forward to be testing the spin to win Barb here in a few hours. I'll be live streaming this all live as you're watching this video. And again, it's in a few hours. I'm recording this video here on Tuesday evening. The patch again is on Wednesday, 7 p.m. CET. That means like, I think it's 1 p.m. EST if you're from America. So in the noon, depending when you're watching this video, in a few hours, let's go log in and good luck out there. Let's see if we can get some mythics for some Ash. Don't spend it all. Do not redeem. GG. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.